guys, Matt V's Movies back for another video, and today is a movie review for a film that I recently picked up on DVD called Supernova. This is from the year 2000, science fiction film. So I'm going to have a look at the edition and a little bit more closer detail on the table, and then I'm going to sort of talk about the film, a little bit of trivia and sort of my thoughts on watching this film. I've just watched it recently, so yeah, I'm going to get into that and see what I think of it. Just before we start the video, if you're new to the channel, welcome. Please consider subscribing by hitting the subscribe button down below and hit the notification bell so you'll be informed when I upload a new video. Please leave a comment on the video. All comments really appreciated, and it's nice to know your thoughts. Have you seen this film? What did you think of it? Great to have interaction on the channel. Please share the video as well. It's always great if you can do that, and appreciate it. Please find me on Instagram. I'm over there, post pictures and the odd little video now and again. Please also give the video a thumbs up. That really does help out the channel, and really do appreciate it. Okay, so let's get on with the video today and let's talk about the film Supernova. So Supernova was a science fiction stroke horror film. Came out in the year 2000, and it was a certificate 15 in the UK, and it ran for 1 hour and 31 minutes. Just to give you a brief summary of the film. A search and rescue medical ship in deep space in the early 22nd century responds to a distress signal from a ship, but it leads them to an alien form and a black hole that could destroy both ships. The release date in the US was the 14th of January 2000, and directors were Walter Hill, Francis Ford Coppola and Jack Scholber. The box office was $14.8 million US, and the music was by David C. Williams. This was distributed by Metro-Goldwyn-Mayer, United Artists and United International Pictures. Cast included James Spader as Nick Van Sant, Angela Bassett as Dr. Kalia Evers, Robin Tunney as Danka Lund, Lou Diamond Phillips as Jerzy Penaloza, Robert Foster as AJ Marley, Peter Fasinelli, Carl Larson, Wilson Cruz as Benjamin Soto, and the voice of Vanessa Marshall as Sweetie. Okay, so I've recently picked this up on Music Magpie. Now there's a little bit of a story to this. The first version of this that I bought, I put the disc on, got about 20 minutes into it, and unfortunately it started to freeze. And I tried to skip various scenes and it kept freezing, and it turned out there was numerous scratches on this, so unfortunately I couldn't watch the film, and it was a shame because I was kind of getting into it and yeah, looking forward to sort of watching the whole thing. So I contacted Music Magpie through eBay. It was an eBay sale, and they refunded the money. And then a few days later I then got another email from Music Magpie to send they were sending a replacement out, which is this here. Now I'm pleased to say that this copy was fine, played fine, no scratches or very slight scratches on it. So in effect I actually got this for free. So really happy. You know, really, I don't know what happened. Obviously they refunded it. I mean, it was only, I think it was about £1.50 odd, so it wasn't a lot of money, but you know, it got refunded, and then they sent a replacement, which, yeah, so happy days. There's actually a little booklet and some art cards that are actually in this release that weren't in the previous, so I'm quite pleased with that. Anyway, there's a little image on the front. There's the spine, and then I've put it on the back. You can freeze that, and it tells you a little bit more about the film. There's some special features on here. including an alternate ending, which I did watch last night, and sort of intact with effects as well. So yeah, it was unusual to see that, and I believe there's an opening scene, alternate scene, which I've not checked out, but yeah, 20 minutes of deleted scenes on this. There's a 5.1 English soundtrack. You've got quite a few different languages in subtitles. So yeah, and you get an original theatrical trailer, and I think there might be some other little sort of features on here. So yeah, you know, it's a good little package. Open it up, and you've got the DVD in there, and then we've got, as I say, a booklet and some art cards. So I'll just get those out, and you can have a look at those in a sec. So that's the booklet that we get. So this is the spaceship that's in the film, and it's quite a unique ship, this one. Some quite good special effects. I mean, it's a little dated, and you can tell, you know, there's a lot of CGI involved in it, but you know, it's not bad. As a sort of a lower budget film, you know, I think they made a reasonable effort with this. We open it up, and then actually we've got some quite nice little text in here. So if you want to pause that and read, you know, they've gone into a little bit of effort with this one and given us some nice information, and the same on this side. So that's nice to see. And then you've got some chapter listings on the back as well. So yeah, I was really sort of pleasantly surprised to get this in this replacement. And then we've got some art cards as well. So you've got an art card here. Now this guy is kind of like the sort of baddie, I suppose, in it. Yeah, nothing on the back. This is the second one, and this is when James Spader goes down to the sort of planet. And then the last one is kind of a scene when he's running across like a walkway on the planet's surface. So yeah, for a DVD release, it's really nice to have these little extra sort of art cards that, you know, these days you'd get it in like a special collector's edition on Blu-ray or 4K. So yeah, pleasantly surprised by having all three of these and the booklet. Okay, so on to some trivia about this film. Walter Hill said in an interview some years after the movie was released that his version was much darker and had a very different setup, and that the ending was much different from the final cut. He also expressed strong dislike for the way the studio ruined the movie, but said that James Spader did a great job with his role. 4 different endings were filmed. Oh, that's interesting, because you only actually see one. This was the first post-Alan Smithy film. For many years, directors who, for whatever reason, wished not to be credited for a movie and disassociated themselves from it would have their name replaced with the fake Alan Smithy. After the film, an Alan Smithy film, Burn Hollywood Burn, in 1997, the name was too well known, so the Directors Guild of America decided to replace the name Alan Smithy with the name Thomas Lee. The original script was about a space expedition that discovers artifacts from an alien civilization and brings them back to Earth. One of the artifacts unleashes an evil force. Tommy Malone and producer Ash R. Shah asked H.R. Giger, who was the guy who obviously did the alien design, to produce some conceptual sketches to help promote the script. Walter Hill, having grown frustrated with studio interference, walked out of the production midway and refused to be involved with the reshoots. Francis Ford Coppola stepped in to direct with some reshoots before he also walked out, and Jack Shoulder came aboard to finish directing the reshoots and oversee the final edit. The latter two remained uncredited as directors, with Hill receiving sole director's credit under the pseudo Thomas Lee. Due to the troubled production, James Spader disowned the film and expressed his regret in participating, citing this film as one of his career that people should avoid. Okay, so I watched this film recently, and yeah, kind of after reading out that those trivia points, you're probably aware now that this was a troubled production with 3 directors involved in it, 2 walking out and the third one kind of picking up the pieces. And yeah, you can tell that this film is very, it doesn't really know what it wants to be. I think it's, underneath it, it could have been a really good science fiction film, this. It's got the makings of something within it, but it just felt very choppy. Didn't really know what it wanted to be. Characters seemed quite wishy-washy. They were sort of here and then they were gone, without going into sort of too much spoilers. But I mean, the standout performer was James Spader. I mean, obviously he's credited for a lot of things, especially Stargate, which was done around about this sort of time as well, if I remember. But yeah, his performance is really good, and I have to say Angela Bassett, I thought she was very good. Now, I'm not really aware of her work, but I did recognise the actress for some reason. I've seen her somewhere, but I can't place where I've seen her. But there's a young guy in it, who I've seen him in Discovery, Star Trek Discovery, as the sort of the Doctor on that show. So he was very young in this. So yeah, I recognised his face. And Lou Diamond Phillips, who's done a lot of sort of action films over the years, he's in this. But again, it yeah, it's got a lot of ideas about it, and I think it had the makings of a good film, but with such a troubled production, various directors involved in it, it just doesn't seem to work. It's a real shame, because I think it has a lot of potential, and you know, the effects for the time are really good, and some of them are, you know, stand up well today. You can tell the sort of the ship is CGI, but the effects of the alien sort of object, I thought, were very good and done very well. So yeah, it's kind of a pretty much a sort of easily forgettable film, in my opinion, unfortunately. Yeah, it's something that's fallen short and could have done so much better. Such a shame, really, that again, I'm guessing studio interference, you know, and to hear obviously that there were 4 alternate cuts of the ending. I've seen one, and to be honest, it looked quite interesting actually from what I saw. I think probably a little bit better than what we actually got on the cut of the film. But yeah, I'd be interested to see what the other cuts were, and actually what the opening scene was like as well. I didn't actually look into all of that, but yeah, I'll say I think it's worth a watch if you haven't seen the film. More intrigue, I suppose, but yeah, I wouldn't sort of think, you know, this is a fantastic film. It's something that I think, yeah, it could have, you know, it could have been something good, but unfortunately it just kind of, yeah, it didn't deliver, which is a shame. But yeah, as I say, you know, enjoyable watch, but probably not something I'm going to revisit anytime soon. Hey guys, that was just my sort of thoughts on the film, and a bit of trivia, a little bit about the film, a few facts and things, and a nice look at it. As I say, I mean, you know, I got this free in the end, so it was a real bonus. And to get the little booklet and the art cards, you know, it's a nice little package, this, for what's essentially is a standard DVD release. But yeah, I was pleasantly surprised, you know. I mean, it's great to get it free, you know. So all credit to sort of Music Magpie for sorting all the, you know, the issue out. But as I say, it's a shame, because I think this could have been something really good. Whether there's like sort of a lot of deleted scenes, it'd be, you know, great if they could go back and kind of re-edit this and maybe make something a bit better. But you know, who knows? Yeah, as I say, I'd recommend watching it as a you know, an intriguing watch, but maybe one to sort of see on streaming at some point. I know this is MGM, so I'm sure with Amazon buying MGM Studios, this will probably turn up on Amazon at some point. So I'll definitely give it a watch. You know, so it got some good special effects in it. James Spader is definitely the best actor in the role. He's the standout, if you ask me, and all the other actors quite good. As I say, it's a 15 certificate, so there is a bit of nudity in this, which is unusual for science fiction films. You don't tend to get that kind of sort of, you know, sort of combination, shall we say. But yeah, an interesting watch. So yeah, that's the film Supernova. So thanks very much for watching the video, guys. Hope you enjoyed that. Take care and see you in the next one. Bye now.